Hey everyone, welcome to Week 11 of Fantasy Football. Still very tight. We have four teams at 5-5, which is exciting, but unfortunately they don't really play each other this week, so it's a little bit less exciting. But we'll get to that in a minute. But if you've seen our thread, you should comment on that. Let us know what you think about keepers for next year and 2020. I'm all in on two. I think it forces you to keep. What's interesting for the tanking teams is I think that normally this time of year you're going to scoop up all the really good injured players, but we don't really have any. It's like the first year in a while there's no like Aaron Rodgers sitting there that you can pick up and stash because he's done for the year. I mean, there's like the Cooper Cup or the Marshawn Lynch or whatever. I mean, some of them, like there's guys like that who are decent, but they're not people you're going to stash and keep. So it's interesting. Kind of sucks. You got to do what Ben Black did and trade for someone who basically is the injured player for the year, Le'Veon Bell. Besides that, let's get into our games for this week. I'm sure mathematically someone should do this, tell us who's in, who's out, who's on the fence, but to me it just appears to be that Nick is in, I'm sure Jim is in, and then Chris and myself are probably really close to being in, and then obviously all you 5-5ers, and even the 4-6er, you're still alive, but you gotta win. So let's get right into it. I'm going to go down to what I think should be the game of the week, because it is Andy versus Chris. So I'll go ahead and start there, give a little more emphasis on this one. I love that you're currently matched up ESPN-wise with a 1.6, 1.7 difference in what I think you're going to score. Here's what I like, what I don't like. I most of the time like Big Ben. I think he's going to do decent there in Jacksonville. And I'll be honest, I just don't know much about this Kerryon Johnson, but I remember seeing something last week that wasn't impressive. Oh, that he was a rookie and he's not that great. Chubb's the best rookie. I even hold that right now. Like, he looks like he could be better than Barkley, but Barkley is playing for the Giants, so who knows? But Chubb's playing for the Browns. All right, but I do like Elliott. And after that, yeah, I'm not a huge fan on Andy's side. So he needs big games for Big Ben and Elliott. On the other side, Matt Ryan, he just lost to the Browns. This is the time of year he kind of peters out, so I'm kind of expecting that. And then Melvin Gordon's solid. I think Woods is only going to increase with Cup being hurt and Diggs. So I'm going to lean on this one because Ebron is a beast. He's getting a lot of touchdowns. He had 3 last week, I think. So I'm rolling with Chris winning this one versus Andy. Now we're just going to go right to the top. Me versus Nick should be a good matchup. I don't think it really matters too much for Nick if he loses, but it probably does matter for me. He had an okay game from Carson, and I had a better than normal game from Baldwin and a game from my kicker. So we are currently tied for ESPN on the who's going to score how many points left. I'm hoping to roll with Johnson and McCaffrey again. They both had over 30 points last week, and I'm back in the Carson Wentz bandwagon. But unfortunately, my Rams are playing the Chiefs, so that's not my best start there. On the flip side, Carolina against Detroit will probably be a good defensive game. Barkley, who I just called out, I think he will do decent against Tampa Bay because they're so awful. Michael Thomas is automatic, and so is Drew Brees. So unfortunately, I think I'm going to lose, but it's going to be closer than I originally expected it to be. Next, we have Ben Black, also known as a.k.a. My Season is Dunzo, and Heiser also holding on to some thread that he should just let go of. He got a layup win, but who knows, maybe he can sneak in with that layup win. Thanks, Drew. Anyways, he had a decent game from Russell Wilson. You think you want more from your quarterback than that. And he's going to roll against Smith-Schuster this week against Ben. So that's kind of helping Heiser out against the guy who just traded for him, Cooks with Seymour. And unfortunately, I think I'm going to go over the upset here and think Heiser does beat Ben. Drew. Come on. All right. Next, we got Jim versus Tyler. Tyler, you had a big game you needed to win last week, and you didn't do it, so you absolutely have to win this one. I think Luck is coming on. That's good, but I don't even know who your running backs are. You must have, buys. Whoa, your whole bench is a buy. That is not good for you. Oh, because you have mostly Browns. And I don't even know who your tight end is. So I'm pretty lost in your team, and that tight end plays for Cincinnati, and Hugh Jackson's there. So you're donezo. You're out. Because on the other side, Thielen, Kamara, Lindsey will all do great. Next is Ben Baker versus Aaron. I think this is a pretty decent matchup, Ben Baker versus Aaron. Nope, Aaron, forgot you stink. So there we go. Hopefully we get better matchups next week. Great game from Devontae Adams. And on the flip side, you didn't start Aaron Rodgers, but it's okay because you got Mahomes. But he is playing the Rams, but I don't think they slow him down. Connor is a beast. I'm wondering if Connor is really this good, and if Bell really was that good, or if it's just a Steelers system thing. Because I know Haley's not there anymore, but my understanding is a guy who was like a Haley person. So who knows? I don't know anything. I don't care. Go Browns. But I do think that Ben Baker is going to roll in this one because I think Mahomes will do better than expected against the Rams, and I think Beckham will do good against Detroit. And then once he puts a defense in, his projected score will go higher, and he will win. And our very last game is John versus Drew. Drew had a good game from Aaron Jones. John hasn't had anyone yet. I think he'll get a decent game, as in Drew, from Mike Evans. And then his quarterback-heavy team, which you're officially kind of winding down the season with only two, Brady and Watson. And he's got Watson in, who will not outscore Goff. Hunt will probably get the 24 points that he did, that Jones did. And, yeah, so I think I'm going to go with John winning this one as well. So that's it. Those are my picks for this week. As always, go Browns. What you need to do is vote on the poll. And the third thing you need to do is win, because you probably have to or your season's over. See ya!